And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Friday, July 26. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. New this afternoon, the FBI and DOJ are investigating alleged abuse that occurred at the McCurtain County Jail. It stems from a civil lawsuit alleging a man, Roper Harris, was pushed down a flight of stairs and brutally beaten inside the jail in September of 2021. This week, a judge dismissed the case against 3 people, including outgoing Sheriff Kevin Clardy, but at least 3 other employees are still named in a federal lawsuit. And a woman was arrested in Bryan County this week, accused of assaulting a deputy with a chair. 52-year-old Athena Johnson is charged with assault and battery on a police officer. Court records show it happened Wednesday at a home in Meade. The deputy was trying to get Johnson to leave the residence, and that's when she threw the chair, hitting him in the arm. She's also charged with obstructing an officer. $67,000 in alleged drug money was seized during a traffic stop on I-35. Chickasaw Lighthorse police say it happened Tuesday. The vehicle was searched after a positive alert by their K-9. Along with the cash, the officers found marijuana and a pipe that tested positive for meth. Well, 2 alleged leaders of one of Mexico's most notorious drug cartels are now in American custody, both arrested near the southern border in El Paso. Madeline Rivera is in Washington with more on what could be a major blow to the Sinaloa cartel.
Fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat our country has ever faced.
Attorney General Merrick Garland underscoring the seriousness of the drug epidemic sweeping across the United States as he announces the arrest of 2 key leaders of the notorious Sinaloa drug cartel, Ismael Zambada Garcia, known as El Mayo, and Joaquin Guzman Lopez.
Both men are facing multiple charges in the United States for leading the cartel's criminal operations.
El Mayo, one of the cartel's alleged co-founders and long sought after by U.S. law enforcement, was unknowingly lured to the U.S. on a private plane Thursday under false pretenses by Guzman Lopez, the son of the cartel's other co-founder, El Chapo. The Sinaloa cartel is one of the most powerful and violent drug trafficking organizations in Mexico, responsible for distributing fentanyl, cocaine, and other drugs throughout the United States and Europe.
This capture is huge. It's still early to see what the impact will be in Mexico, but it's certainly going to change, no question about it.
In a statement, President Biden commended law enforcement for arresting the 2 men and for continuing to bring Sinaloa cartel leaders to justice. El Mayo and Guzman Lopez joined other top Sinaloa leaders in U.S. custody, including El Chapo, who was sentenced to life in prison on drug conspiracy charges in 2019.
The Justice Department will not rest until every single cartel leader, member, and associate responsible for poisoning our communities is held accountable.
The Justice Department says both men will make their initial appearances in federal court the coming days. In Washington, Martha Rivera, Fox News.
Well, turning to weather now, meteorologist Brady Blackstock is joining us in the Weather Center. Brady, what can we be expecting for our Friday and weekend forecast?
Well, for starters, Kylie, we can expect cooler temperatures because it's pretty cloudy out there. But of course, with those clouds do come some rain chances, not so much along I-35. You can see Holiday and Ardmore on our tower cam, just some scattered clouds and a few more the farther east you go all the way over to Highway 75 here in Sherman. But satellite radar showing that kind of traffic jam of rain and storms off to our east in southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. Well, it's kicking some clouds, more clouds over into our western counties. And as far as rain, well, we're not seeing any right now, but yet again, just like yesterday, we're seeing some formation off to the east in Pushmataha County, and that's where we're seeing cooler temperatures, but overall cooler temperatures for all. So if you're going out tonight, it's going to be a little less as far as the temperature. But as far as those rain chances, I'll be talking about that in more detail and what you could expect and when a little bit later.
All right, thank you, Brady. Well, a pair of Sulphur natives are working to help their city rebuild after an EF3 tornado ravaged their hometown by creating sulfur-strong walking sticks. Each handmade walking stick is carefully sanded, coated, and repurposed from broken tree limbs found from the destruction in Sulphur. Symbolizing strength and hope for their community, founders Sherry Wintham and Gary Hicks say so far They've raised $2,000 with more than 80 orders to help Sulphur tornado victims and their families recover.
I think having a piece of Sulphur, a piece of what's been lost, is comforting and encouraging, knowing that they're contributing to the recovery.
If you would like to buy one of these, you can purchase your own walking stick to help Sulphur's recovery for just $25 on their Facebook page. Texoma Workforce Solutions is working to raise awareness of some of the local services that can help those in need find and keep a job. One of those is a vocational rehabilitation program. The Texas Workforce Commission helps people with disabilities get ready for jobs. The nonprofit Motivation, Education, and Training also helps people and local organizations like Sherman's Grand Central Station. For more information about local programs, you can find this story on our website at KXII.com. Well, domestic violence can begin as verbal abuse, but can take a turn for the worse. If your life is in danger and you want someone to stay away, you should know you have legal options. We spoke with the Durant Crisis Control Center about certain tendencies with intimate partner violence.
The most dangerous time for a domestic violence victim is when they are leaving, because the perpetrator is losing control. And when they start losing control, they act erratically.
And those erratic actions are among the reasons the center offers a 24-hour hotline. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris addressed hundreds of educators this morning at a teacher union conference in Houston. Alex Egan talked with teachers there to learn what message they came away with.
Vice President Kamala Harris addressing the American Federation of Teachers Conference. It's one of the largest unions for educators in the nation. Harris touched on topics including her own public schooling background. She drew strict contrast between her ideas for the future of education and the ideas of Republican nominee Donald Trump.
While you try to create safe and welcoming places where our children can learn, extremists attack our freedom to live safe from gun violence. So we want to ban assault weapons, and they want to ban books. Can you imagine?
It was very inspirational. She touched upon a lot of topics that teachers deal with and a lot of topics that public servants deal with, health workers deal with, and hopefully she will help us keep fighting for our rights.
Her energy is just inspiring, and so I love that. It's very re-energizing to see that, and I think we're going to be great.
It has been a very tumultuous last few weeks, politics, following everything that's been going on. I am glad that everything seems to be setting itself in its course. I think there are clear choices to be made, and I'm looking forward to help make those choices in November.
Another theme for the vice president, the importance of unions. Earlier this week, the AFT became the first union to endorse Kamala Harris for the Democratic nominee following Joe Biden's exit from the campaign. In Houston, I'm Alex Egan.
Former President Donald Trump is meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Florida today. The visit comes just a day after Netanyahu wrapped up his controversial visit to Washington, meeting with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, her first sit-down with a world leader since entering the presidential race. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
It's an honor to have you with us.
Former President Donald Trump is meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago, their first face-to-face talks in nearly 4 years.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister.
It comes a day after Netanyahu visited the White House, meeting separately with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Let's get the deal done so we can get a ceasefire to end the war.
The Biden administration is dialing up pressure for the Israeli prime minister to close a ceasefire deal that would also bring hostages home. The vice president and likely Democratic nominee outlined her vision.
It is time for this war to end, and end in a way where Israel is secure, all the hostages are released, the suffering of Palestinians in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can exercise their right to freedom, dignity, and self-determination.
National polls show Trump and Harris already running neck and neck, just days into her candidacy.
She's a San Francisco radical.
Friday morning, Harris received an endorsement from former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
As Trump adjusts his focus from Biden to Harris, the vice president is calling for a debate.
I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready.
In a statement late Thursday, the Trump campaign said debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.